you feel about the trend that now it's moving more into altcoins? It's moving away from Bitcoin. Do you think that that's a sustainable setup?
I still think the vast majority of the capital flowing into the space is flowing into Bitcoin. We've gone from about 60 companies capitalizing on Bitcoin to 160 companies just in the past 6 months. So I'm laser-like focused on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is digital capital. I think it's going to outperform the S&P index over the indefinite future. And I think it's the clear global monetary commodity in the world right now. So it's the lowest risk, highest return, most straightforward strategy if you want to outperform the S&P and if you want to inject vitality and performance into your balance sheet.
So it sounds like you're not concerned that perhaps the fact that we're seeing these other digital asset treasury companies come to the fore here, expand into altcoins, you're not concerned that that's going to detract attention away from what Strategy is doing?
I think there's an explosion of innovation across the entire crypto economy, and on the margin, it's really good for everybody in the digital asset space right now. I think the big idea is $100 trillion plus of capital in the traditional equity capital markets and traditional credit markets, and what we're focused on is delivering digital asset-backed equity and digital asset-backed credit. And I think those credit instruments and equity instruments are just going to outperform the traditional fiat credit and traditional fiat equity instruments all around, and capital is going to flow into the digital economy due to that. The real compelling idea of a Bitcoin treasury company is we hold a huge stack of Bitcoin, about $74 billion worth of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a 21-year duration asset. You got to hold it for 21 years if you want the full potential, and it's about 50 vol and 50 ARR. Most people don't want that amount of volatility, even though it's got that performance, and who wants to wait 21 years? So what we've done is we've created structured Bitcoin in the form of Strike, STRK. We give you the Bitcoin upside, a guaranteed dividend, and principal protection, and that's an alternative for people that don't want the roller coaster. We've created a long duration senior credit instrument called Strife. Think of it as a 21-year Bitcoin backed bond. Pays about 8.5% dividend yield right now for people that just want that quarterly dividend yield and a seniority in the capital structure. And then you've got a high yield long duration instrument called Strife. It's actually paying like 11.5% dividend yield right now, and so that's for people that want high yield forever, and they'd rather have 11% quarterly than take that's guaranteed than the roller coaster of Bitcoin. And then the most exciting thing we've done just a few weeks ago, it's the biggest IPO of the year. It's called Stretch, STRC. And STRC is like a monthly Bitcoin-backed bill. And so think of it as a Bitcoin alternative to treasury bills or money market funds. It's 9% dividend yield, monthly cash pay. And if you just want to park short-term cash and get paid 9% dividends and have it powered by Bitcoin, you're not taking duration risk on the interest rate. You're not taking the Bitcoin volatility, and that's our most successful offering to date. Really extraordinary demand from retail. In our last offering, we started with about 30 or 40 million of retail demand on the first preferred, and then it increased to 60 million on the second preferred, and then 120 million on the third preferred, and about 600 million on the fourth preferred. So retail's off the charts. We've also got a lot of institutional long investors, people that are holding. Look, if you like Bitcoin or if you like MSTR, these are all pretty compelling for any pool of capital you've got. And then, of course, a bunch of hedge funds also got very excited about this. There's lots of different ways to trade these against each other. So a good mixture of institutional as well as retail investors buying into all these preferreds.
Today, the Department of Justice and State Department are announcing a historic $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. Maduro uses foreign terrorist organizations like TDA, Sinaloa, and Cartel of the Suns to bring deadly drugs and violence into our country. To date, the DEA has seized 30 tons of cocaine linked to Maduro and his associates, with nearly 7 tons linked to Maduro himself, which represents a primary source of income for the deadly cartels based in Venezuela and Mexico. Cocaine is often laced with fentanyl, resulting in the loss and destruction of countless American lives. The DOJ has seized over $700 million of Maduro-linked assets, including 2 private jets, 9 vehicles, and more. Yet Maduro's reign of terror continues. He is one of the largest narco-traffickers in the world and a threat to our national security. Therefore, we've doubled his reward to $50 million. Under President Trump's leadership, Maduro will not escape justice, and he will be held accountable for his despicable crimes. If you have any information to bring this criminal to justice, call 1-202-307-4228 or go online.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu outlining a more sweeping plan for a total takeover of Gaza, at least on a temporary basis. But it appears Israel's decision will stop short of that. The country is seeking the defeat of Hamas and the return of hostages, both living and dead, who were taken when Hamas attacked Israel in October of 2023.
At least from the Brics.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think of the Brics per se as a very coherent geopolitical bloc, but Russia and China are certainly forming a de facto alliance, and U.S. tariffs are going to have limited impact on that bloc. And then as a bloc, that they can try to expand their influence elsewhere. India and China, of course, are strategic rivals. But what we do see is that independent players, neutral players, what used to be called non-aligned players, these countries are not going to allow themselves to be blackmailed and bullied around just because President Trump is imposing tariffs. Now, here's the thing. He could go forward with some of these. As President Trump gets deals with the key trade partners, like the EU, he still needs to get a deal with Canada and Mexico. But once he's locked down the U.S.'s biggest trading partners, then he probably can sustain tariffs on countries like Brazil and India. The problem is that the U.S. suffers a strategic setback then because it drives India deeper into that Russo-Chinese bloc. And it might even create a situation where India is willing to work with China to put aside their differences. And the U.S. really doesn't want to see that happen. So I think the president is encountering pushback from these larger economies in the emerging world. And again, he'll find that he has to return to the midterm election and focus on the economy. And that will mean that most of these measures are tactical and short term.
Right.
Let me just read what the President truthed out just a few moments ago. The highly anticipated meeting between myself as President of the United States of America and President Vladimir Putin of Russia will take place next Friday, August 15th, in the great state of Alaska. Further details to follow. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Welcome to the Cryptoteacher.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And you know I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have Michael Saylor on altcoins playing his playbook. And we know at the end it's not going to end well, but this is the narrative. They want to get us pushed over to the digital economy. Take this money out of regular investment legacy products and put it in Bitcoin and crypto. And of course, that'll help crush the economy a whole lot faster. And then we have Michael Saylor also making a lot of Bitcoin Cash casino products that are similar to the legacy market. And with all this leverage, again, is not going to end well. And remember, the Cryptoteacher tells you. And we have the DOJ goes after Maduro. And yes, guys, we know the banks are the biggest what? I'll let you finish that. But they don't go after Netanyahu, and we know why. You know I'm not going to talk about that. You know a Patreon video is definitely coming about this. But you can't make this stuff up. We are definitely repeating 9/11. All this chaos will create the NWO's order. And remember, the Cryptoteacher tells you. And we have the Brics coming together like the Transformers. And remember, guys, this is a plan that moves in phases. The fall of America to Babylon with that world reserve currency, and the rise of China, the dragon with that digital yuan backed by that digital SDR. And we have Trump meets with Putin on August 15th. Go look at the calendar, guys. Matter of fact, you don't even have to look at the calendar. You know when that is. That's right, Friday, because all the entertainment happens on the weekend. And guys, what do I tell you? Get your popcorn, sit back, and let it play out. Because we can clearly see Armageddon is right around the corner. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just the poor auction. it was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.